First contact miscalculation. Dr. Marcus Rivera stood before the quantum acceleration chamber, his dark eyes reflecting the brilliant purple glow of the experimental reactor. The underground facility in Colorado's Rocky Mountains housed humanity's most ambitious project yet, the development of quantum-based propulsion technology. As chief quantum physicist, Marcus had dedicated 15 years to proving that conventional physics had only scratched the surface of possibility. Dr. Rivera, we're detecting unusual energy fluctuations in Sector 7, called out Dr. Emily Patel, her fingers dancing across multiple holographic displays. The Quantum Harmonics Lab hummed with activity as researchers monitored the experimental drive's performance. Marcus frowned at the readings. These patterns, they're unlike anything we've seen before. The quantum field is becoming more stable, not less. That shouldn't be possible with our current configuration. High above Earth's atmosphere, aboard the Meridian survey vessel Eternal Truth, first observer Kylax watched the primitive planet with growing concern. His crystalline exoskeleton shifted colors as he processed the energy signatures emanating from the human facility. Impossible, he muttered, his secondary sensory appendages twitching. Their understanding of quantum mechanics is barely past theoretical stage. They couldn't possibly. He paused as another surge of energy registered on his scanners. First observer, his assistant Vera interrupted, her translucent form shimming with anxiety. The humans are achieving quantum field stability rates that exceed our early development projections by 300%. A malfunction in our equipment, clearly, Kylax dismissed. Their civilization still relies on chemical rockets and fossil fuels. They barely have a presence beyond their own moon. But as the energy signatures grew stronger, even Kylax couldn't deny that something unprecedented was occurring. The humans were breaking rules of physics that the Meridians had considered absolute for millennia. Back in the facility, Marcus and his team were about to make history. The quantum drive pulsed with increasing intensity, its energy signature reaching levels that should have torn apart the fabric of space-time. Instead, it created a perfectly stable field of quantum energy. "Sir," Emily's voice trembled with excitement, "we're detecting a reaction in the upper atmosphere. Something's up there, and it's responding to our quantum field." Marcus rushed to her station, his heart pounding. The sensors showed a massive object, previously cloaked, now partially visible due to interference from their quantum experiment. "My God," he whispered, "we're not alone." Aboard the Eternal Truth, alarms blared as their cloaking systems failed. Kylax's exterior shifted to a deep red of emergency status. Impossible. Their primitive quantum manipulations are disrupting our advanced shielding technology. First observer, Vera reported, their approach to quantum mechanics. It's completely different from our standard models. They've discovered principles we never considered because they seem too inefficient. Inefficient, yes, Kylax agreed, his color shifting to one of dawning comprehension, but effective in ways we never imagined. Perhaps we've been too quick to dismiss their potential. As the Meridian ship decloaked completely, humans around the world looked up at the massive crystalline vessel now visible in their skies. In the Colorado facility, Marcus and his team watched in awe as their primitive experiment had inadvertently revealed humanity's first contact with an advanced alien civilization. "Dr. Rivera," Emily said softly, "what do we do now?" Marcus smiled, his eyes still fixed on the readings that showed just how much their unconventional approach to quantum physics had shocked their advanced visitors. Now we show them that being technologically advanced doesn't always mean being right. Sometimes the best solutions come from thinking differently. In orbit, Kylax prepared to make first contact with a species that had just proven that 15,000 years of meridian physics might not be as complete as they had thought. Perhaps, he realized, it was time for the teachers to become students. The hidden advantage. The world changed overnight. News of the Meridian presence sparked global panic, followed by an uneasy calm as humanity realized the aliens hadn't immediately invaded or made demands. Instead, they requested something unexpected: access to Earth's quantum research data. In the newly established First Contact Center, converted from a wing of the Colorado facility, Marcus Rivera faced a being that looked like living crystal. First observer Kylax's translucent form shifted through subtle color patterns as he examined the quantum dry schematics. Fascinating. Kylax's universal translator conveyed his mixture of confusion and admiration. You deliberately introduced chaos into the quantum field instead of trying to control it. Why? Marcus gestured to the holographic display, showing their experimental results. We found that quantum particles naturally seek harmony, even in chaos. Instead of forcing them into predetermined patterns, we let them find their own equilibrium. Vera, Kylax's assistant, moved closer to the display, her crystalline form refracting light across the room. But this defies the unified quantum theory established by the Galactic Council. It's primitive. Primitive. Emily Patel couldn't hide her irritation as she joined the conversation. Our primitive approach just penetrated your advanced cloaking technology. The tension in the room rose, but Marcus raised a hand to calm his colleague. Different doesn't mean primitive. We simply took another path. In orbit, the Eternal Truth had been joined by 3 more Meridian vessels, their crystalline structures catching Earth's sunlight like massive diamonds. Their presence made the global population nervous, but it was their reaction to Earth's quantum breakthrough that truly worried the scientific community. General Diana Martinez, newly appointed head of Earth's Defense Council, watched the Meridian ships from the military's underground command center. They're scared, she observed to her assembled staff. Not of our weapons or our numbers, but of our ideas. The Meridians have achieved incredible technological advancement, Marcus explained via a secure video link, but they've done it by following a rigid, predetermined path. They've optimized their understanding of quantum mechanics to the point where they can't see alternatives. And our alternatives work better? Martins asked. In some ways, yes. Their quantum technology is incredibly efficient, but it's also predictable. Our chaotic approach gives us advantages they never considered possible. Back in the First Contact Center, Kylax was reaching a similar conclusion. Your species continues to surprise us, he admitted to Marcus. We detected your quantum experiments from light years away, but dismissed them as anomalies. We were certain no civilization could achieve quantum stability through such unorthodox methods. Yet here we are, Marcus replied. The question is, what happens now? Kylax's color shifted to a deep blue that his translator didn't interpret. The Galactic Council will want to supervise your development. They'll insist on guiding your quantum research along approved paths. And if we refuse? Emily asked, though everyone knew the answer. Then they will ensure compliance by any means necessary. The Council believes that allowing divergent quantum manipulation could destabilize the fabric of space-time itself. General Martinez's voice came through the room's speakers, sharp and clear. Are you threatening us? First observer. No. Kylax's form rippled with what seemed like genuine distress. I am warning you. I have seen enough to know that your approach has merit, but the Council, they have enforced standardized quantum development for 50,000 years. They won't accept alternatives easily. Marcus walked to the quantum drive chamber, placing his hand on its smooth surface. You said our method was primitive, but it works. Maybe that's what scares them. We've proved that their way isn't the only way. In orbit, the Meridian ships suddenly began moving into a defensive formation. A new signal was broadcasting from the largest vessel. By order of the Galactic Council, all quantum research facilities on Earth are to cease operations immediately. Compliance is mandatory. General Martinez's voice was steel. Dr. Rivera, please tell me you have a plan. Marcus looked at the quantum drive, then at Emily, who nodded firmly. Actually, General, we do. The Meridians have spent millennia perfecting their quantum technology. But sometimes, the old ways, the unexpected ways, are the most powerful. As alarms began blaring throughout the facility, Marcus allowed himself a small smile. The Meridians were about to learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in following established rules, it was in breaking them. Breaking point. The Galactic Council's ultimatum echoed through every communication channel on Earth. Surrender quantum research or face the consequences. In the Colorado facility's main control room, Marcus Rivera watched as military personnel rushed to establish defensive positions, their movements precise but tinged with anxiety. "They're powering up their quantum arrays," Emily reported, her eyes fixed on the sensor displays. Above their heads, the 4 Meridian ships had arranged themselves in a perfect tetrahedron formation, their crystalline hulls pulsing with energy. "Their power output it's beyond anything we've ever measured." General Martinez's hologram flickered in the center of the room. "Dr. Rivera, I need options. The Security Council is split between surrender and resistance, and we're running out of time." Kylax and Vera, still present in the facility, showed signs of visible distress, their crystalline forms cycling through rapid color changes. "Please," Kylax pleaded, "comply with the Council's demands. I've seen worlds reduced to cosmic dust for less." Marcus turned to the alien observer, his voice steady despite the chaos around them. "You've been studying our history, haven't you? Then you know humanity doesn't respond well to threats. The Council ships carry enough firepower to crack your planet's crust," Vera interjected. "Your bravery is admirable but futile." Emily suddenly straightened at her console. "Dr. Rivera, the quantum harmonics. Look at this pattern." She projected a holographic display showing energy waves from the Meridian ships. "Their weapons all operate on the same quantum frequency. They've standardized everything, just like you predicted." Marcus's eyes lit up with understanding. "Because they believe their way is the only way." "General," he turned to Martinez's hologram, "I need 10 minutes and full power to the quantum drive." "You have 5 minutes," Martins replied. "That's all the Security Council will give before they vote on surrender." In orbit, the Meridian ships began their final warning sequence. Their hulls transformed into crystalline fractals, each facet amplifying their quantum energy to devastating levels. The sight was beautiful and terrifying, like watching a diamond catch fire. Inside the facility, Marcus and Emily worked furiously at the quantum drive controls. "What you're attempting is impossible," Kylax observed, his translator struggling to convey his mix of emotions. "You cannot hope to match our quantum output." "We're not trying to match it," Marcus replied, hands flying over the controls. "We're going to disrupt it." "Emily, initiate the chaos sequence." The quantum drive hummed to life, but instead of the steady pulse it normally produced, it began generating erratic waves of energy. The patterns were random, unpredictable, exactly as designed. "Sir," Vera called to Kylax, her form flickering with alarm, "the humans. They're introducing quantum irregularities into the local space-time fabric. Our sensors can't track the pattern." Above Earth, the Meridian ship's perfect formation suddenly wavered. Their standardized quantum systems, designed to work in precise harmony, began experiencing unexpected fluctuations. "What have you done?" Kylax demanded, his color shifting to deep crimson. Marcus allowed himself a grim smile. "We've introduced chaos into your order. Your ship's quantum systems are all synchronized, all perfectly tuned to work together. But that harmony becomes a weakness when faced with true quantum randomness." On screens throughout the facility, they watched as the Meridian ships struggled to maintain their attack formation. Their crystalline hulls flickered like disturbed pond water, unable to maintain coherence in the face of Earth's chaotic quantum emissions. "General," Marcus called out, "now would be a good time to show them our other surprise." Martinez nodded. "Launching quantum probes now." From hidden silos around the globe, dozens of small devices shot into orbit. Each one was essentially a miniature version of the main quantum drive, programmed to generate its own unique pattern of chaos. "Impossible," Vera whispered, watching as her people's mighty ships began to drift apart, their carefully calibrated quantum systems overwhelmed by the unpredictable energy patterns surrounding them. "No," Emily corrected her, "just improbable. And sometimes, that's exactly what you need." The Meridian ship's weapons powered down as their crews struggled to maintain basic systems. Their perfect formation dissolved completely, leaving them scattered and vulnerable in Earth's orbit. Last chance, Marcus addressed Kylax. "Tell the Council to withdraw. We don't want to see what happens if our quantum chaos reaches critical levels around your ships." Kylax's form had settled into a pale, almost translucent white, a color Marcus had never seen before. "You would risk breaking every rule of quantum physics." "Rules?" Marcus gestured to the screens showing the disabled Meridian fleet. "Look around you. Those rules you followed for 50,000 years. They're not as absolute as you thought. The universe is bigger than your council's understanding of it." As the facility's sensors registered more Meridian ships appearing at the edge of the solar system, Marcus knew they had only won the first round. But they had proven something crucial. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't in following the established path, but in finding new ones. "Sir," Emily called out, "you need to see these readings. The quantum chaos. It's doing something unexpected." She paused, her eyes widening. Something beautiful. The unexpected defense. The new Meridian warships emerged from quantum space like shards of crystal breaking through reality. 12 vessels, each twice the size of their disabled predecessors, arranged themselves in a complex three-dimensional lattice around Earth. Their arrival should have spelled doom for humanity. Instead, Marcus Rivera couldn't take his eyes off the readings Emily had just shown him. "The quantum chaos field isn't just disrupting their systems," he breathed, watching the intricate patterns form on the holographic display. "It's creating something entirely new." The facility's main chamber had become a storm of light and data. The quantum drive's chaotic emissions were interacting with the standardized Meridian quantum fields in ways that defied conventional physics. Where the two patterns met, reality itself seemed to shimmer. "Dr. Rivera," General Martinez's hologram cut through the chaos. "The new Meridian fleet is transmitting. They're giving us 1 hour to surrender before they begin planetary bombardment." But Marcus barely heard her. He was transfixed by the mathematical patterns emerging from the quantum interference. "Emily, are you seeing this? The chaos isn't random anymore. It's self-organizing." Emily's fingers flew across her console, confirming his observation. "The interaction between our chaotic quantum fields and their standardized ones, it's creating a new form of quantum harmony. One that neither of us fully understood was possible." Kylax moved closer to their displays, his crystalline form reflecting the cascading data. His usual color patterns had given way to rapid shifts of iridescent light. "This is heresy," he whispered, but his tone carried more awe than condemnation. "The Council teaches that quantum energy must be controlled, regulated, standardized. This is evolution," Emily finished for him. "Natural quantum evolution." In orbit, the new Meridian fleet began powering up their weapons. Their crystalline hulls transformed into arrays of focused energy, preparing to deliver devastating power. But something was interfering with their carefully calibrated systems. "Sir," Vera called out, her form pulsing with urgent patterns. "The quantum anomaly. It's spreading. The human's chaos field is inducing spontaneous quantum organization throughout local space." Marcus turned to General Martinez's hologram. "General, I need you to trust me. Order all military forces to stand down. No conventional weapons. No counterattacks. Just watch." Martinez's expression was skeptical, but she had seen enough in the past few hours to take the scientists seriously. "You have 10 minutes, Doctor. Make them count." The quantum drive's chaotic emissions continued to expand, meeting the Meridian fleet's energy fields in a dance of opposing forces. But instead of mutual annihilation, something extraordinary was happening. The chaos was finding order, and the order was embracing chaos. The Council was wrong. Marcus explained, watching the phenomenon unfold. They thought quantum energy had to be controlled, forced into rigid patterns. But look, when you let it flow naturally, it finds its own balance. Order emerges from chaos, and chaos prevents order from becoming stagnant. Above Earth, the Meridian Fleet's attack formation began to waver. Their quantum weapons, designed to operate on precisely controlled frequencies, encountered an environment that refused to play by their rules. The ship's crystalline structures began resonating with the new quantum patterns, their carefully maintained energy fields adapting to the chaotic harmony. Impossible. The Meridian Fleet Commander's transmission cut through all channels. Our quantum cores are synchronizing with the human chaos field. We can't maintain weapons lock. Emily's console erupted with new data. The quantum harmony is accelerating. It's creating a self-sustaining field that's protecting Earth, not through force, but through balance. Kylax moved to the facility's main window, watching as the sky above began to shimmer with unprecedented quantum effects, visible even to the naked eye. In 50,000 years of council records, nothing like this has ever been documented. We thought we understood quantum physics. We thought we had mastered it. No one masters quantum physics, Marcus replied softly. The more we learn, the more we realize how little we understand. Your council tried to impose order on something that naturally seeks both chaos and harmony. We just had to learn to work with it, not control it. The Meridian Fleet hung motionless in orbit, their weapons rendered useless not by force or superior technology, but by a fundamental shift in the quantum landscape around Earth. Their rigid, standardized systems couldn't adapt to an environment that embraced both chaos and order. Dr. Rivera, General Martinez's voice was urgent. The Security Council is demanding answers. What exactly is happening up there? Marcus smiled, watching as the quantum patterns continued to evolve and spread. We're watching the birth of a new understanding of physics, General. The Meridians tried to perfect one way of manipulating quantum energy. We accidentally discovered another. But what we're seeing now, this is the universe showing us there's room for both, and maybe something even greater when they work together. In the growing quantum light, humanity's greatest discovery wasn't just about physics or power. It was about understanding that sometimes the most profound breakthroughs come not from imposing our will on the universe, but from learning to dance with its natural rhythms. A new understanding. The Galactic Council's emergency session was being broadcast across every quantum frequency. In the Colorado facility, now dubbed Quantum One by the media, Marcus Rivera watched as beings from 1,000 worlds debated humanity's discovery. The chamber itself had been transformed by the sustained quantum effects, its walls occasionally rippling with iridescent patterns of energy that defied traditional physics. The vote stands at deadlock, Emily announced, monitoring the council's proceedings. Half want to continue the attempt to suppress our research. The other half, she smiled, want to study it. Marcus nodded, watching as Kylax addressed the council. The Meridian Observer's testimony had become the centerpiece of the debate, his first-hand experience of Earth's quantum breakthrough carrying significant weight. Honored Council. Kylax's form shimmered with conviction. We face a choice between clinging to our assumptions or embracing a new understanding of the universe. The humans haven't violated the laws of quantum physics. They've revealed that our understanding of those laws was incomplete. The council chamber erupted in debate. Species that had evolved along radically different paths argued over the implications of Earth's discovery. Some saw threat, others opportunity, but none could deny the reality of what had happened. Look at these readings, Emily called out, directing Marcus's attention to her console. The quantum harmony field surrounding Earth had stabilized into something unprecedented, a perfect blend of ordered and chaotic energy patterns that enhanced rather than disrupted each other. It's beautiful, Vera observed, her crystalline form reflecting the data patterns. Our civilization spent millennia trying to eliminate quantum uncertainty. We never imagined it could be harnessed. General Martinez's hologram appeared, her expression both proud and concerned. The Security Council just received word. The Galactic Council is sending a scientific delegation. They want to establish a joint research initiative. And the warships? Marcus asked. Withdrawing to the outer system. Apparently, their quantum drives don't work properly in the new quantum field anyway. Martinez allowed herself a small smile. Though I suspect that's just an excuse to save face. The facility's sensors suddenly registered a new phenomenon. The quantum harmony field was beginning to affect Earth's technology in unexpected ways. Devices that shouldn't have worked together were finding synchronicity. Energy efficiency was increasing across the board. It was as if the balance between chaos and order was optimizing itself. We need to be careful, Marcus warned, watching the effects spread. This isn't just about physics anymore. We're looking at the potential to revolutionize everything. Energy, computation, transportation, communication. You're afraid we'll repeat the Council's mistake, Emily realized. Try to control it too much. The temptation will be there, he agreed. But I think we've learned something important here. The universe doesn't just allow for different approaches, it demands them. Order needs chaos to evolve. Chaos needs order to stabilize. Hylax's transmission resumed, his form now showing the steady colors of certainty. The Council has reached a decision. Earth is to be recognized as an independent quantum research center. All attempts to suppress or control human quantum development are to cease immediately. The facility erupted in celebration, but Marcus noticed something even more significant. The quantum harmony field had begun to extend beyond Earth's orbit, creating a network of self-organizing energy patterns that connected rather than divided. Dr. Rivera approached, her form showing patterns he was learning to recognize as humility. My people would like to establish a permanent scientific exchange. We have much to teach each other. Marcus looked around the room, at humans and Meridians working together, at displays showing quantum patterns that merged the best of both approaches, at the faces of people who had glimpsed a future bigger than anyone had imagined. You know what the real breakthrough was? He asked, not really expecting an answer. Not the quantum drive, or the chaos field, or even the harmony effect. It was the moment we all realized that different doesn't mean wrong. That progress doesn't always follow a straight line. Outside, the quantum field continued its elegant dance of order and chaos, a visible reminder that the universe's greatest mysteries often solve themselves, if we just have the courage to let them unfold in their own way. Emily joined him at the window, watching the shifting patterns in the sky. So what do we do now? Marcus smiled, thinking of all the possibilities that lay ahead. Now we do what humanity does best. We explore. We learn. We make mistakes and find unexpected solutions. And most importantly, he gestured to their alien colleagues, now as much partners as observers. We do it together. In the quantum-touched sky above, order and chaos continued their eternal dance, a reminder that sometimes the greatest discoveries come not from mastering the universe, but from learning to move in harmony with its natural rhythms. Earth had taken its first steps into a larger universe, not by following the established path, but by daring to forge its own.